Brazilian GP and Happy New Year. Just watching the guys go around on circuit at the moment in practice. I'll do a quick run through of the driver standings before we go into qualifying. We've had a few people drop out at the moment, so there's been a few new parents sorted and a few new liveries, so the guys might take a little bit of time to get the lobby started. So championship standings, we've got Lewis P1 on 87, Adam P2 on 73, Ethan P3 on 70, P4 is Moz on 48, P5 Osman on 39, P6 is Luke C on 36, P7 is Dean on 34, P8 Brian on 32, P9 is Stu on 20, P10 is Rob on 10, and P11 Sean on 0, but I think Sean is one of the ones who's left the championship as well, so that's 10 drivers on there so far. So should, if all of them are turned up now, you still have a group of 10 after the new year. Just watching Adam Piper going around at the moment. So far we have Rotary showing as the quickest time is 16.8. As yet he goes to the top of the standings now. Piper is in the low 17s at the minute, so if he wants to mount a challenge, I'm guessing that finding a 16 is going to be the one that these guys will be hoping for. As he just gets the car turned in, starts to climb up the hill to carry wants to carry good speed up this hill and down in the first corner to start the next lap. So just the 5 minutes to go before we get underway. Hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. Obviously hard with the tier and the rules and restrictions and whatever, but hopefully 2021's a totally different year to last year. But motorsport soon starts again. Obviously tonight's the one of the first ones to kick you off, but looking forward to the Formula 1 restarting again with Perez at Red Bull. I don't think we could have had a Formula 1 season without Sergio Perez on the grid. It's nice to see him get a drive. I think he's in the right point in his career now. Obviously the McLaren move maybe came a bit too early as that team started the decline in performance and results, but we'll soon find out how that goes for him in the Red Bull next year. This year. Just got a couple of guys joining the lobby now, so we should have the full 10 and then we should be able to start qualifying any moment. For the first race is a 40-minute race, 40-minute feature race, so pit stops will be involved in that one. Second race is a 15-minute sprint race, so the guys who will struggle in the feature race might be looking towards a sprint race to try and pick up some points. Obviously we have qualifying first, so they want to qualify well before we go into the races, but we'll soon find out. These guys just setting a few lap times in practice. It's nice to see the guys out on a Formula 1 circuit with these cars. These liveries do look iconic around this track. We'll have a look further down the grid, see how everyone else is getting on. Luke C was impressive last time out, mixing it in the top 8. Got a couple of good results last time out with Nürburgring before the break, so he'll be hoping for the same this time around. 0.7 off the top at the moment, and Rotary has been one of the guys to keep an eye on this season, as well as Lewis, who I'm not sure is in tonight. I'm not sure.
Was impressive last time out, fixing it in the top 8. Got a couple of good results last time out with Nürburgring before the break, so he'll be hoping for the same this time around. 0.7 off the top at the moment, and really has been one of the guys to keep an eye on this season, as well as Lewis.
Going to have a look and see how many we've actually got in tonight, because I am expecting 10, which is what I have been sent the standings for. So we have we've got 11 in at the moment, as Inca Holmes is a new driver who's joining us tonight, so I know him from a couple of championships, so he should be another good driver to watch out for. There he is in the Ferrari livery. So far a time of a 1:18.5, which is not too far off the pace, considering this is his first night in the car. So he's just going under another lap now, a couple of laps in the 19s, gets a penalty to start his next lap, so this will be invalidated, but he'll still go around and just put some miles on that car. Obviously these guys do have the overtake available in the race. They only get one charge of that. It doesn't recharge after every lap. It's just got a certain amount for the full race, so they'll have to be wary of where they deploy that. My guess is most of them will be using it coming out of the last corner to go up the hill and look into an overtake in the first corner, as Inca Hunt goes a bit wide over the curve there. Looks like we are going to be starting very soon, as he just pulls off. A couple of guys are still coming up on the back of him, so next in Red Marshall looks like he's backed off as well, so these guys must be getting ready to start qualifying. Yeah, we're just going down into countdown now, so battle for pole position. Will it be Moz? Will it be Rotary? Will it be Lewis? But I think Lewis is not here tonight, so it's going to give another guy a chance to get pole position and maybe another winner. But Lewis is there, so can anybody take it to him? He's been the class of the field so far this season, with a win in a podium last time out, or he just missed out on the podium, I can't quite remember. 5-minute qualifying, so these guys should get quite a few laps in. It's such a short track. I'm actually going to go on board with Lewis for this out lap. Just hasn't got the tyres up to temperature yet, but he's got a car in front of him, which is Ethan, his teammate in the touring car series, actually closing quite close up on the back of him. I don't know if he's going to back off a bit. He's got Adam up the back of him as well. So he uses a bit of the overtake going up the hill, but he's going to give Adam Piper a tow. So he uses quite a bit of the overtake to try and get away from Adam, who's right there. He's got a couple of cars, or quite a few cars are close together that might benefit from a bit of a tow. Down to second gear for the first corner, gets a nice cut across there and flat out uses a bit more overtake as we come down into the sector mark at the end of first sector. So 19.3 as he gets a car turned in down the hill. 2 wheels off there, that'll be fine on track limits. Lewis starts his climb through this tricky middle sector. The first of the corners is a long right hander you just got to be patient for. Pretty much nails the apex there. Taking just enough curb to be in track limits. Goes a little bit wide, dips a wheel on the gravel there, but it should be alright. Hasn't compromised him too much. You can see he's visually closing on Ethan in front, so could be a good lap this from Lewis. 56.8 for the middle sector. Bit of understeer there, he didn't like that up the hill. Gets a car settled, doesn't use any more overtake coming out of the corner, he uses it in the mid section there, so Lewis cuts towards the line. 16.6 from Rotary, 16.1 from Lewis, so a great lap time there from Lewis to start his pole position charge. So half a second clear at the moment as Real Osman slots into third on a 17. Luke C in there in an 18.5 and Moz there 17.4, 17.5 from Frowny, so that's a good qualifying from him so far. So some good times set already, the first lap times, but still got more to go. Adam Piper looks like he struggled a bit on his lap. Yeah, he's down there in 9th and he gets a penalty on this lap, so he's going to have a 1 lap dash at the end. As we see Ryan's in the pit, so he's just coming out of the pits now, so he wants to hurry up and get round on this outlap, or else he's not going to get a lap time, and we should have enough time to just cross the line with about 5 seconds to go. Might have a bit more time actually, but yeah, he looks like he's going to get 1 more lap in. So let's find our new driver for tonight, Ingo Holmes. He just lets Adam through. Might use him as a reference. Oh, he just nails the throttle coming out of that corner. He's got Moz behind him, so doesn't want to be under too much pressure going on to this next lap. Yeah, Moz is gaining on him. You see, deploying that overtake, using the rest of it across the line. Moz goes quicker on a 17.3, but still no one able to challenge Lewis at the top. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Inco Holmes, he won't like that, and Moz is actually coming past him. Stu Shelton on 19.1, yeah, and Inco Holmes is going to have to back out of that. Let's go on board with Rotary. It looks like Lewis has backed out of his next lap, so maybe this is the first guy to cross the line that might have a chance of getting pole position. Oh, he just nails the throttle a bit too much there, but uses the overtake to compensate for that. He's going to have a little bit to run up the hill. Still sort of half a second off in that middle sector, but if he can solidify that second place on the grid, then he'll be happy. So here comes Ethan across the line on a 16.4, so he gets 2 tenths, so 3 tenths off. That's a good lap time there. Moz also looking to come up and set a new lap time. Can he go quicker? As we've got Adam Piper actually goes across with a 16.5. So Adam actually did manage to go quicker on that lap. Yeah, so Adam Piper has managed to go quicker. So he gets third place in the end. Moz in 4th. Frowny 5th, his teammate. Osman 6th. Luke 7th. Brian comes across the line on an 18.7, so he takes 8th place. Stu Shelton looks like he's done in 9th. Yeah, Osman's teammate Inca Holmes down there in 10th, and Mad Marshall they're in 11th, just the 3/10 off there, Inca Holmes, so nearly got Inca Holmes on that last one, but his first race tonight is Inky, so we'll see how he gets on in the race. But qualifying's ended now, so Lewis takes another pole position. Ethan joins him on the front row, Adam behind, so 3/10 covers the top three drivers, so we might see a good battle down into this first corner. But first race for these guys in these cars after the Christmas and New Year break, so points to be had now. Qualifying's done and dusted. We'll see how these guys get on in this race, but engine notes are rising, so we'll wait for the lights to go out. It sounds like they're playing a Christmas song. As the lights go out now, and a couple of wheel spins from the front rows. Ethan gets a wheel spin there. Inky gets a good start and comes through 3 of them. He's up to 7th already, and Adam goes down the inside from 3rd to 1st. Lewis tries to battle it out. Inky goes wide and loses all the positions that he gained there. So Adam leads from Lewis, from Ethan. Ethan using a bit of overtake to try and get on the back of Lewis now. The top 3 close together, nose to tail as we go through. Everyone manages to, a couple of guys are running wide in the background there. Brian in 7th. See this long train of cars come through. Real Osman gets it wrong going through that long right hander and has to defend from Brian. Brian has a little look at the outside but does manage to get it done. He sticks his nose in the inside. Osman knows he's there but gets a decent run out of that corner. See, side by side for the lead nearly. Lewis is really pushing him around this first lap. Adam doesn't want to defend or else Lewis will get it. He does defend. Lewis might get a decent run but he runs wide. Some of them are using the boost up the hill. See, Lewis is definitely using the overtake. Ethan's closed up as well, so we've got a battle for the lead here on this first lap. As Lewis dives to the inside, Ethan might follow him. Side by side there, Adam has to go around the outside. Ethan runs in the back of Lewis. Yeah, Ethan doesn't manage to get through. He had a little look there but didn't get enough of the car alongside. Lewis takes that first position back. Ethan on the inside of Adam now. Actually takes him but he's going to run side by side up the hill, and Moz is in there if he fancies a position. He might get 2 here if these 2 guys have a collision. Get through there. Oh, is that Frowny going wide in the background? Oh, sideways from Ethan there. Doesn't want to be doing that. Osman behind is close to Frowny, so Frowny must have had a little bit of a wiggle going through. So front 4 all glued together as Moz has actually joined in now from these guys battling, so Moz might have a go at someone here. Osman and Frowny aren't that far behind, but the rest of the pack just coming up the hill now. So these guys really starting to get away now. As we see Adam looking at the back of Lewis, he goes to the inside. He takes a lead back, but Lewis is going to try and brave it around the outside. Lewis on the outside now. Might get it done. Adam brakes late, takes the inside. Oh, Lewis collects it. Full arm of opposite lock there and has to save the car from going off. But that's put Ethan right on the back of them both now. He's got a little bit of a gap to Moz, so might make him confidence to attack. Lewis all over the back of Adam here. Moz has actually come back to join in. Oh, Adam gets it. Oh, he nearly collides. Lewis managed to get the car stopped and puts it down the inside. That's a great manoeuvre there. He had no control of the car for that corner beforehand. Adam's still trying to get it back. Ethan putting a bit of pressure on Adam as well. So a lot of these... Oh, Adam again tries to save the car from going off. That's going to put Ethan alongside. Manages to get back in front of Ethan and cut his nose off, but he might have another go at Lewis here. Can't quite get it done. Ethan right all over the gearbox there. Moz comes back into view as well. So these first 4 laps these guys are fighting. I just think Adam nearly went for it, just heard that little lift on the throttle there, didn't want to overtake. Might want to try and leave it for the last corner up the hill, but that's put Ethan all over the back of him. Moz is still there as well. Frowny might come into play as well as he manages to push on in the fresh air, and he's got Osman following him through as well, and Brian isn't that far behind, so we might see 6 cars for the lead here. Frowny and Osman aren't that far behind. See, Ethan looks more able to attack now as Lewis got a little bit more of a gap now. Definitely more of a gap than we've seen in these last few laps. Ethan's gapped Moz, so he can attack into his first corner. He might look to the inside if he can. Definitely room on the inside. Hasn't got much of an overlap. Oh, it just looks like he was pushing him through there. Adam gets the car stopped and goes after Lewis again, but Lewis looks like he's really pushing on now. Adam looks to one under pressure at the moment. He's got the car of Ethan all over him. As Adam actually sets a purple first sector there, and yeah, Adam's closer to Lewis now because Ethan's had a moment. So now the battle's on for the lead. And Ethan's got a penalty as well for running wide there, so that's not going to do him any favours. So we watch the cars come down the hill towards us. Get the car rotated and gets the car back up the hill. Nice there from Lewis. Adam actually gained a little bit of time there. Oh, bit of oversteer there. This is close for the lead. Adam practically pushing Lewis up the hill there. He's got a nice toe and a nice run out, so he's definitely going to be in a position to have another look. See Adam, Lewis defending the inside, comes across into the middle of the track. That's not going to give Adam much space to do anything. Oh, Adam goes off, collects the grass, 2 wheels on the grass there, and he couldn't get the car stopped, so that gives Lewis a second advantage over Ethan now, and that puts Adam down at the third and under pressure from Moz. You see Moz, Adam trying to get that dirt off his tyres and just waving in front of Moz. That might be a bit dangerous. Moz is going to have a look there. Adam gets a better run round the outside of that corner. So the guys at the front starting to have a little bit of a gap between them now. Not as frantic as it was just 2 laps ago, but 1.3 seconds now Ethan has to Lewis. That goes up a little bit in that last corner. Let's see how the guys further down are getting on. Luke seems to be by himself there in 7th. Mad Marshall just tooting along there in 9th. He's up 2 positions from the start. Inca Holmes there in 10th. A couple of guys have actually made pit stops. Definitely looks like Brian's made a pit stop, as he was running quite close to the guys at the front now. But he's definitely coming for a pit stop. Frowny has a little bit of an advantage now over Real Osman, just 7/10 there. Adam, after that slow lap of a 119, he looks like he's really on the charge now. Managed to get that gap down to Ethan in front to a second, and it looks like Ethan's actually brought the gap down a little bit to Lewis as well, so a good lap time from Ethan on that last lap, 17.2. Just brought him a couple of tenths closer, but it does look like Lewis is the quicker of the 3 through this middle sector, as the gap actually goes down a little bit there. So I don't know what, Lewis is really slow. Lewis was really slow there. He lost about 7/10 in 2 corners there, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Ethan's just 8/10 off the leader now. Yeah, Ethan comes across the line in a 17.7. Adam comes into view there in 3rd place. Moz isn't that still? He's still keeping these guys honest. So Moz still might have a chance to get the podium, because we know what Moz is like on tyres and strategy. So he still could come into play in this race. As for Frowny and Osman, they have their own battle. They've got a car off at turn 1. Just rejoins there in turn 2, so someone's gone wide. So not much happening between these 3 compared to how it was at the beginning of the race. So we'll drop down and see what's like between Frowny and Osman. Them 2 are still sort of 6/10 off each other. We'll go see who's had the issue at the back. Brian just coming through there. So Brian all over the back of Inca Holmes now. So it looks like Mad Marshall was the one who went off at that first turn. Brian pushing now in the mid-high 18s, so definitely looking to get past Inky for that 10th place. Real Osman has passed Frowny somewhere on that lap, so Frowny's down to 6th now. Adam pushes on again, 17.4 that time around. So 2 seconds covers the top 3. Adam gains a little bit of time through that 1st and 2nd corner on Ethan, so it might come into play now for Adam for this 2nd place. Had a little bit of a moment in that 1st corner going for the lead, but might be able to just get onto the back of Ethan and have a go at that 2nd place. Lewis just has a little bit of a cushion, boys. Not too much of a cushion where he can't stop pushing as Adam gets close to the back of Ethan now. So this looks like a battle for 2nd place before these guys make a pit stop. Adam pushing him around the corners all over the gearbox now, so Ethan's got some defending to do. Adam gets some good speed through that corner. Gets a good tour from the under the rear wing of Ethan. So will any of these guys peel into the pits? No. Ethan defends the inside. Adam looks like he's carried a bit more boost around the outside. That's moved on. Ethan's done the same thing. He's gone straight on. So now he's going to have dirty tyres, and Moz might have a look at the back of Ethan now. Yeah, he's definitely closing in. So Adam up into 2nd. Moz could have a go at 3rd place here. He's vulnerable, Ethan, after getting dirt all over his tyres. Tries to brake late, but doesn't have the grip. Moz takes the inside line. It's going to be the outside for the hill, but he gets it done before the braking zone. So Ethan goes from 2nd to 4th in the space of a few corners. So not a good lap this from Ethan so far, and he gets a little bit of an oversteering moment there as he comes out of that corner. So still dirt on the tyres, not got the grip that he had a lap ago. As for Moz, he's up into 3rd place now, so I said that he might come into his own, but a couple of these guys still yet to make pit stops. We'll see what Moz's tyres are like. Yeah, so Moz is in a little bit more of a better position than Ethan's tyres, but not by much. But Ethan's going to have a go. He looks at the inside. Moz doesn't really fight him. Ethan gets that move done. Moz lets him through, gets a better run, so he might have another go down into this next turn. Just bides his time a little bit, gets the tour, moves to the inside. Looks like he'll get this move done. Oh, Ethan brakes really late and goes round the outside and takes that position again. So Moz now in 4th place, back where he was a lap ago, and he's got to look at the back of Ethan for another lap. Gets close to him again there, so closes up on the back of him. Meanwhile at the front, Lewis has got quite a reasonable gap now to Adam. see a few guys behind in a battle. These three cars here, Luke, Osman and Frowny. But we'll have a look to see if Moz is close enough to make a manoeuvre into the first turn. Doesn't look like he is at the moment, but if you get a good run up the hill, then you've got a long straight and you can gain a lot of time in the slipstream. As that looks like he might put Ethan comes into pits now, so Ethan pits anyway, so that frees Moz up. Comes into pits for some new tyres and a bit of fuel. So that's 10 laps he's completed on that set of tyres. So must be a 3 stop for these guys, or 2 stops, sorry, for these guys in this race. He comes out of pits, should rejoin. Yeah, should rejoin. He's got a bit of space there to push on, so he's got nobody to overtake. Bit of clear air for him, so he can push on now. Meanwhile, Frowny moves himself up into 4th place. Moz in 3rd. Adam 4.5 seconds off the lead. So Lewis has pushed on a little bit from when we last went on board. So 16.3 from Lewis, so he nearly matches his pole position time. Takes a bit of curb there and runs off wide. Gets a good run up the hill for good measure. See someone going on the soft there. Yeah, so Stu Shelton comes out the pits on the soft, so the rest of the guys on super softs. See Rotary there in 6th, just getting his new tyres warmed up. Frowny has Luke C chasing him down. Moz just on his own in 3rd place, setting some pretty consistent lap times there. Oh, just as I say that, he runs a bit wide. That compromise, he's run through that corner, so he's a little bit slower down the straight than he would like to. Adam just losing another couple of tenths to Lewis out in front. He's still in 10th. Not that far off Brian, but he hasn't got. He's got Mad Marshall not that far behind him either. So Brian will have to be watching for Inky behind, or else he'll be on the back of him soon. Mid-18s from Brian as well, so he's on the same pace as sort of Moz at the moment, so that stands him in good stead for the rest of the race. Just weaves his way through the centre S's and off down the back straight. 18.2 for him on that last lap, so that's his quickest lap so far. As we see, Lewis pits from the lead. Car down off its own jacks. A long stop this, so putting plenty of fuel in. Adam goes into the lead. Moz moves himself up into 2nd place as Lewis just comes out of the pits now. Ethan comes across the line with a 17.1, so that's his quickest lap of the race so far, so a personal best there from Ethan on that last lap. He's now in 4th place with Adam and Moz yet to stop, so if he keeps pushing he could find himself back into 2nd place. Got just over half a tank of fuel on board now, so he's got plenty of fuel to go for a good few laps and be able to push. As Frowny just comes out the pits just ahead of Luke C, actually only 9 tenths ahead of Luke C. Osman, who he was battling with earlier on in the race, was 5 seconds up the road. So Frowny now on these fresh tyres will be wanting to push. As we say, Adam now comes into the pit, so Moz looks like he's going to join him as well. So them two guys have done a couple of laps more than Ethan and 1 lap more than what Lewis did. Lewis comes across the line now, so he retakes the lead from Adam. Moz actually on 0% fuel, so just use a bit more fuel. Adam puts 80% in. Ethan looks like he might be close with Adam for 2nd place. Adam's coming out the pits now, so yeah, about 3 seconds. But Ethan plenty ahead of Moz, who's actually put a bit more fuel on board now. So Moz has put 96% on board. So he might try and go to the end on that, but I don't think he'll be able to. So Adam finds himself back in second place, a bit closer to Lewis than he was before the stops, but still not enough to where he can start hunting Lewis down. Still 3 seconds to find there. Next he has a 3-second gap back to Ethan as well, so pretty much an even split between the pair. See, we've got a yellow flag out somewhere. So, oh, and it's Ethan. Ethan's gone round. Trundles to a stop. Oh, and he's gone. So Ethan, DNF for Ethan after running so quick at the start of the race. That promotes Moz up into third, so he'll be pretty pleased with that. Osman now finds himself in fourth, so Osman's in a decent position in this race. Frowny now up into fifth. Looks like he's gapped Luke a bit. Stu Shelton now in 7th. Brian 9/10 ahead of Inky, so them two look like they're going to have a decent battle again in this race. As they did at the start, they were quite close. As we come to sort of near halfway point now, Brian gets it nice and tidy through there, doesn't use too much curb and spins up the rear wheels, gets a good neat run through there, but looks like Inky's been a bit more aggressive and just gained a little bit of time. Really pushing. Bad Marshall 33 seconds back off Inky, moves over to the left hand side. It looks like he's going to let the leader through. Oh, goes off wide. Yeah, lets Lewis through. Pretty nicely done there from Mad Marshall. Stu Shelton, his teammate, in 7th. Osman still pushing there in 4th. He's only 4 seconds off Moz, so still has a chance of getting a podium here. Moz has actually lost a bit of time to Adam. Adam tries to work his way past the back marker there. Does so pretty swiftly. Still 3.4 second gap to third place. Sorry, to first place. So Lewis has still got a nice cushion there. That's not to say Adam isn't setting good lap times. He's still in the 16s. It's just that Lewis had a nice cushion before that. And he's actually in the 17s. So see what he does on this next lap, which is a 16.6. So yeah, he's back into the 16s now. Just a couple of tenths off the fastest lap that he's set so far, the 16.3. Adam just running a little bit wide through the first and second turn there, but he still pushes on. 16 seconds back is Moz on the 17.8. Yeah, Osman just a little bit off, but Frowny looks like he's really closing in, really pushing through that first and second corner there, around the third bend, down this back straight, and you can see Osman 2 seconds in front of him. So 4th place is on the cards here for Dino. If he can get this car through the next couple of bends nice and tidy. He says Osman's got a 0.3 of a penalty as well, so Osman's going to have to get rid of that. He does so through that fast right hander. Still 2 seconds as we enter this middle sector to see who's got the best front end grip, more confidence in the car. Just, oh, we've got a yellow flag. So it looks like Next Gen Mad Marshall's just gone off to let these guys through. Yeah, rejoins the circuit just behind Frowny. So a 1.8 second gap. Looks like Frowny found about a 10th through that middle sector. Not enough to sort of mount a challenge on Real Osman, but gets him a little bit closer. 18.7 from Osman, 17.9 from Frowney, so in total on that lap he gets 9/10, which is a good chunk of time that he's took out of him. So he's setting some consistent lap times, is Dean. So he really wants to get on the back of Osman for that 4th place. As we see a couple of guys at the back there pitting. Looked like Brian was coming into the pits. Mad Marshall just exits the pits in 10th place. Inca Holmes comes there in 8th, chasing down Stu Shelton. So a few of these guys running around the same pace, around the 1 minute 18 mark, but just a couple of guys on different tyres. Stu Shelton actually laps his teammate on the racing softs, is Stu. Luke just up the road on the super softs. Brownie now 1.8 seconds on the back of Osman, but still that's where the gap where he was about a lap ago, so Osman just sort of keeping the gap at that now. Brownie hasn't really managed to get any closer than that. It actually goes down to 1.7, so he must have had a better run up the hill. Did Dino? That's an 18.6, so a bit off what he's been doing the last couple of laps. Still a 10th quicker than Osman on that last lap though, so he still is finding the time. So Stu Shelton just comes across the line. He sets an 18.5, so a good lap there from Stu on the slower tyres. Lewis at the front, back in the mid-16s and setting them pretty consistently now, so is Adam, and the gap's sort of 3 seconds now. Seems to have stabilised between the two front runners. Moz is 20 seconds back, so he's losing a bit of time to Adam now, so he looks like he's going to just try and cement that 3rd place. Osman gets another penalty, but gains another couple of tenths on Dino. As we see Ethan's left the room now, so not a good first race from Ethan. I don't know if he'll be back for the sprint race, but we can certainly wait and see. Osman on his way there in 4th. Dino manages to get the gap down to 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds there between 4th and 5th. There still in 3rd, finds himself back into the 17s, but still not close enough to mount a challenge towards Adam. But see where the rest of the guys are. Brian there in 8th on his own now. Mad Marshall down there in 10th. Frowney in 5th, still chasing down Osman. He's managed to get the gap under a second now, so he can definitely start gaining from the slipstream and maybe start mounting an attack. follows Osman down the straight. 0.6 of a second between them now. Luke C there on his own in 7th. As well as Stu Shelton there. Still on them racing softs, so whether he comes in for the softs again next or he takes the super softs for the last stint, we'll have to wait and see, but he comes across the line and just does a little bit of a slower lap time than he's managed the last few laps. Frowney now all over the back of Osman, and Osman just tries to lose that penalty there. Bit more traction there from Osman, just managed to find a bit more on the exit. Frowney gains a little bit through that corner. Might have a chance of gaining up the hill. Again, Osman just takes a little bit of a slower line and gets a good traction up there. He managed to get nearly gets the gap over a second. In fact, he does. He gets the gap to over a second now. But Osman comes into the pits anyway, so Frowney gets past him for now. But he's got to make another pit stop soon. So Adam actually all over the back of Lewis, so Lewis must have had a couple of slow laps. He has an 18.9 in there and a 17.8, so now that puts Adam all over the back of the leader, so we've got a battle for the lead now. And they're both coming up onto the back of Adam's teammate Brian, so whether he holds them up or not. Brian actually comes into pits out of the way anyway, so Adam looks like he could have a chance of the win here. Doesn't go for the move in the first corner. Chases him down the back straight. Then runs it up the hill. Adam's still chasing him down, so not that much between these two guys at the front. As we say, Frowney pits from 4th place. Moz there, still in 3rd place on his own, but the battle at the front now. We didn't expect to see this on lap 25. So Adam gets a bit more of a run up the hill. He's got both of them seem to have a pretty good amount of up. Actually, Adam barely has any, but Lewis has a good amount to defend with, and they both follow each other into the pits. So this is going to come down to who decides to put the less amount of fuel on board. Whoever gets a quicker stop. They're both still stationary in the pits. Adam's the first one to move, but Lewis has gone before him, so Lewis has put 84% in, Adam's put 71% in, but still means that Lewis manages to take the lead. Moz is actually pitted from 3rd as well. Adam gets a good run out the pits. He's going to take Lewis on the outside. Lewis brakes late on the inside. Gets that manoeuvre done and keeps his 1st place for now. Lewis just weaving to try and get the tyres warmed up. Adam follows him round that long right hand bend. So we've got 9 laps to go till the end. We could have a battle for the lead. Oh, as Adam just shows his nose as Lewis got a little bit of overstay coming out of that corner. Means they got quite close together there. Adam now runs up the hill. Stu Shelton comes in to get rid of those softs, so he might go for super softs for this last stint. See, Inca Holmes works his way up into 7th now that people are starting to pit. Adam in the slipstream of Lewis. Doesn't look like he's going to go for the inside unless he tries a late dive. He doesn't. Just follows him through. See a back marker coming out of the pits there as well. That looks like it's Stu Shelton. See Adam right under the gearbox now of Lewis. Lewis in the middle of the road. Adam goes to the outside. He's not going to get it done, I don't think. Gets the car turned in. Lewis just runs it bravely around the outside and comes out in front again. So Adam Piper's going to have to go another lap to try and think of something to get past Lewis if he wants this win. Bit later on the brakes there, but he has to run a little bit off not to crash into the back of Lewis. We've got a couple of back markers there who might interfere if these two start battling. Got another back marker in front there that might aid Lewis a bit if he can get a little bit of a tour. Both brake late there. Adam gets a better run through that corner. Lewis has a little bit of oversteer up the hill. Gets a big penalty on the way out as well. Takes a second. Adam gets a good tour there. Right under the gearbox. Right under the rear wing. He's going to move to the outside. Lewis defends the inside. Squeezes Adam to the outside of the road. Adam cuts to the inside. Lewis goes wide. Gets rid of some of his penalty, but Adam still finds himself in second place. Both of these guys on the super softs. Adam looks to the inside, but not going to get that done there. Lewis gets rid of another couple of tenths of his penalty. Stu Shelton and Brian Ross are quite close behind there in 8th and 9th. Lewis is managing to lose a few tenths of that penalty here and there. So Adam's still going to have to try and find a way past, but where can he do it? As see, Mad Marshall just lets them both through there. Lets his teammate and Brian through as well, so gets out of the way. So looks like we're going to have them side by side in this first corner again. Adam gets nice run out there, close to the back of Lewis, weaves to the outside. Lewis squeezes him, they touch wheels. Bit like Lewis Hamilton and Hulkenberg in that first corner. Just clashing wheels there as Lewis runs off wide. Adam comes out still in second place. He's going to have to try something different if he wants this win. Lewis gets rid of all of his penalty now, so he hasn't got any penalties to worry about. He's just got the red car of Adam behind, and maybe the two back markers if they get involved. These guys are running in the 118s, are slowing each other up that much. Moz is still sort of 19 seconds off, so they can both sort of battle each other and not having to worry about losing positions. The only position they've got to lose is between each other. Adam going to go for the outside line, doesn't quite work around there, there's lots of marbles, but he's just thinking of different ways to try and upset Lewis' rhythm, but it's not working so far. Lewis is dealing with what Adam's put up against him. Adam goes for the outside line again, but can't get alongside. Goes for the inside, he fakes it. Lewis squeezes him. Adam manages to get it done there. Lewis gets a good run. Now it's Adam in front who's got to deal with the pressure. Lewis is good on the brakes in this corner. Oh, Adam lets him on the inside. Doesn't get it done though, and Adam defends, so now he leads for another lap. So now Lewis is the one who's got to get this manoeuvre done before. We've got 5 laps left to go in this race. This could go all the way down to the line. Mod's still there in 3rd place. 19 seconds off still. He's got a 16-second gap to the car behind, so he could come in for a pit stop if he needed to. But Lewis Gets a good run there. He's got a lot of his overtake left to use, so he uses it all to get alongside of Adam. Adam hasn't got an answer. Lewis goes back into first place. They rub wheels again. Lewis squeezes him to the wall. Adam dives on the inside. Lewis lets him have the place. Tries to take a bit more of a neater line to get the run out, but doesn't manage to do so. Uses his boost again to get alongside. Brakes later on the outside. Adam lets the brakes off. Lewis goes wide. They're still side by side through this next corner. They're rubbing wheels again, so rough racing going on between these two. Lewis takes a position on the inside. It's a good racing there from these guys. Rough as it was clean, so Lewis leads this race again. Both going into this middle sector, and it looks like Adam might have to size up an opportunity to go into the first corner again. It looks like they've lost the two back markers behind as well as they dip into the 17s. Lewis takes a nice clean line through there. Oh, Adam nearly runs into the back of him though. He got that much of a good run. He's going to try and get on the inside, which he does. Lewis has got a bit of overtake, so he uses that to defend. They touch wheels again. Lewis round the outside. Can he get it done? He can't. Adam gives him the room. These two guys are pushing each other for this win. Lewis wants to be careful. If he keeps using his overtake, he won't have the advantage that he does so far. He wants to save it to the last couple of laps. He uses a bit more there up the hill. Really putting on the pressure now. He's going to go for the outside lines. It's a good manoeuvre if he can get it done. They give each other good racing room. Lewis is still there on the outside. Adam late on the brakes. Lewis could run up the hill. Can't quite get... Oh, he goes for a dive. Goes into the back of Adam, lets him have the position. They both carry on. Adam defends the inside into the last corner. Lewis looks to the outside. Oh, he's all over the grass. Still got a little bit of that overtake left, so he starts to use it now. Again, looks like he's going to have the outside line. They get very close to rubbing wheels. Adam defends the inside. Lewis has to go for the outside. Adam just squeezes him. So Lewis still finds himself in second place. He gets a good run there. He's going to have to go for the outside again. Adam moves over to the centre of the road, defending this position well and rough. Good racing here between these guys. Lewis is going to go around the outside again. Getting close towards the end of the race now. Lewis just tried the dummy on the inside there, but it didn't quite work. Adam was wise to that. Doesn't look like there's any other battles going on apart from the one behind with Stu Shelton and Brian, but got a battle for the lead at the moment. Not that long to go. Lap 33 out of 35. They start to climb up the hill again, nose to tail, as it has been for the last few laps. Lewis takes the outside line. Adam defends the inside. Right up against the wall there, doesn't want to let that inside go. Lewis pushes the car, can't get it round the outside there. Adam's still in front. Pulls to the inside again. Lewis is going to have to go for the outside unless he tries to brave this one out. He does this time. Adam edges him closer to the track. Yeah, Lewis just goes off a little bit wide there. Lewis gets a penalty as well, so I don't think that was fair, but he loses a couple of tenths there through that corner. Both get the car slowed down. Lewis gets a little bit sideways and he actually loses quite a lot of time there to Adam. still got a little bit of overtake left. Adam barely has any left, so Lewis still has that little bit advantage of the overtake button that he's got to use yet. But we're going to go on to the last lap soon. Gets a good run through that last corner. I think he's going to save that for the last lap. That little bit of overtake he does. Goes for the outside again. Nothing to separate them as they cross the line. Oh, Adam's left him. Adam's left him to have the inside there. I don't know what Adam was thinking there, but he let him have the inside, and that's put Lewis right back in front on the last lap, so that's given him the advantage. Lewis gets rid of his penalty as well, so that puts Adam back in front. But Lewis knows he's got a little bit of overtake left, but he uses a bit of it there, so we're on the last lap now. So this battle for the lead is going to go to the line. Just half a second between them. Not many corners left now. Lewis doesn't look to be pushing the car too hard. He's trying to keep these rear tyres nice and cold. But he gets all over the back of Adam there. Nearly runs off the circuit. Uses the rest of his overtake. This is going to be close across the line. Come up towards the line now. Oh, Adam just takes it by 0.013. Great racing there from them two guys at the front. See Moz will come across the line now on his own in third. Doesn't look like anybody's close. Everybody seems to be pretty much spread out. Inke on his first race there in 7th. Luke in 6th. Real Osman in 5th. Frowny, a good result from Dane in 4th, so he'll be happy to come home in the top 5. Fourth there from Frowny, 5th there from Osman, 6th from Luke. Inga Holmes 7th, Brian 8th, Stu Shelton in 9th, and Mad Marshall there in 10th. Our 1 DNF was Ethan, who quit pretty much, I think it was halfway through the race, so Ethan didn't have that much of a good race there. He was at the front for most of it, but unfortunately didn't quite work out. So that's our first race of the night between them. That was the feature race, which is the 40-minute race, or 35 laps as it was in that case. So the next one is a sprint race, which should be around 12 or 13 laps, I think it should be. So well done to our 3 podium sitters there. Obviously Adam taking the win, Lewis in 2nd and Moz in 3rd. A great race from them 2 guys at the front on them last few laps. We weren't expecting to have that close of a battle, especially when we've seen that Lewis had so much of a gap. This race is actually 11 laps, so rolling start and a reverse grid. So that'll put Mad Marshall on pole position. So yeah, looking forward to another good race. So hopefully we'll have the same first few laps as we did in that feature race before Rotary left. which was a really good race from a lot of the guys out there, especially Inca Holmes as well on his first race, taking a top 8th position. He'll be pretty happy with that, which puts him in, I think it's 5th for this sprint race, so he'll be happy to be starting in the top 5 for the sprint race. He might not finish there, but it'll give him a good experience of running these cars at the front, and he might actually surprise us. You never know, a few guys might actually hook this car up this race with the faster guys starting at the back. It's always harder to work their way forward. Lewis didn't struggle last time out at Nürburgring, but might be a different story as we go into this race. The guys don't have the 35 laps to go on this track. They only have 11, so it shouldn't be any stops. Most of the guys were taking the super soft sort of 11 laps before they were coming into the pits, and the fuel was sort of lasting around that. So unless the guys who were harder on tyres want to come in just to make sure, we shouldn't see any pit stops in this race. Definitely no fuel stops, I don't think, but a few guys might push the cars a little bit more and might use a bit more fuel, but we'll soon find out. Just got a little bit of a break before the guys go into this next race. A few of them are just entering now, so we've just got a couple of guys left to enter before we restart this race. This reverse grid. Rolling start doesn't have the excitement of a grid start, but it just gives the guys who are starting at the front just a little bit of breathing room to sort of, instead of being panicked into starting on the front row and having to get the start right, it just gives them a little bit more time to sort of enjoy being out in the front, as they might not get a chance to do so very often. So it gives everyone a nice opportunity to start at the front, but the guys at the back are looking forward to seeing the guys who finished in the top 3 coming through in this race, especially the guys who started first and second right at the back. How long it takes them to get where they finished in that first race, but they might not actually get there. It might be tougher for them in this race to get anywhere near the front. As Brian actually says that the race will be starting soon, so the guys need to be entering the lobby and getting ready for this next race, the last one of the night, the sprint race. So let's go and join the guys in the lobby as they all get ready to go out for the last one. Brian actually starts the countdown now, so sprint race coming up now. See who can anyone take a surprise win? Can anyone take a surprise podium? We'll soon find out. See, it's first and second there for the Jordan cars. So Eddie Jordan will be pretty happy about that. Although they do look like different liveries, so I'm not sure if they are the same. They're a little bit different. One sponsored by Buzz and Hornets, one sponsored by Benson and Hedges, so yeah. We'll see Mad Marshall's going to get this race underway now. Leads the cars across the line. So Mad Marshall takes a 0.4 of a second lead in this first corner. Goes wide straight away. Stu Shelton will have a run on him. In fact, he does have a good run down the straight. We've got Brian behind, he's already got a penalty. Stu Shelton gaining only a tenth off. Might go for a look on the inside, doesn't. Mad Marshall goes wide anyway. Stu Shelton, oh, see a few of them going side by side there. So Brian just backs off a little bit, gets rid of his penalty, and Luke finds himself up into second place there. Stu Shelton leads the cars away. A couple of guys just going wide there in the background. Someone's actually off. Looks like Osman has had a little bit of an off there. Lewis is already up into 5th place, so he's really working his way through. Adam down in 7th place. So Inca Holmes actually there in 4th, has got Lewis behind him, so not a good first sprint race to be having someone like that behind you. As you see there, Frowney not that far behind as well. Lewis uses his overtake. Does look on the inside. Inca just brakes a little bit late on the outside. Lewis gets that manoeuvre done. Just a bit more experience in these cars. Knows where the braking is. See Adam Piper behind. Looks like he's going for a move on Frowney. Frowney pulls to the middle of the track and defends well. Actually closes on the back of Inca in the Ferrari livery car. So the guys carry on. Stu Shelton still leading away from Luke and Brian Ross not that far off, and Lewis really closing in on him now as the car's just Constantina on the brakes there. Lewis runs a car round the outside of 2 cars there. He goes off. Is that Lewis round? Yep, Lewis has spun round, tried to take 2 cars on the outside there. Nearly got it done, but he dipped 2 wheels on the grass. And we've got a side by side for the lead. Luke side by side with Stu Shelton. Gains a little bit of time on the brakes there. Adam Piper now finds himself in 3rd place. Lewis is down in 7th place, having just took Moz on the inside. Them two are actually still side by side. Adam Piper looks to be going for a move on the inside. He does, he brakes late and takes Luke. Nearly runs into the back of Stu Shelton, as well as Brian Ross gets a little bit of oversteer coming out of that second corner. Now Stu Shelton's going to have to defend from Adam Piper. Adam Piper just runs the car on the inside. Stu Shelton gives him enough room. Actually runs the car straight round the outside. Doesn't let him have that position, so Stu Shelton, if he can keep this car on the inside, he should. Just has to yield there, and that nearly puts Luke alongside of him as well. Dino gets a bit late on the brakes there and actually nearly has a go at Luke round the outside. Real Osman there. We've got 8 cars pretty much nailed on there for the lead, but that soon becomes 7 as Adam Piper peels off, has a little bit of a gap. Frowney now takes 3rd place away from Luke. Osman closes up onto the back of him as well. Lewis finds himself back in 6th place. So Lewis actually looks on the inside of Osman. Osman gives him the room. Lewis back up into 5th place. Looks to have the back of Luke as well. Can he go down the inside and get 4th place? No, Luke defends that. Actually goes for a move on Frowney. Takes Frowney on the braking zone there. That's put Lewis goes around the outside. Lewis down the inside of Luke as well. So Lewis up into 3rd place now, so he takes 2 cars in 2 corners. So good driving there from Lewis. He wants to get straight back up with Adam. Stu Shelton hasn't actually been dropped by Adam. He's actually pretty much all over the back of him at the moment. But Lewis really pushing now. Stu Shelton just a half a second off. But there's a little bit of time there, and Lewis is all over the back of him now. So we could see Adam and Lewis again for the lead. We've got Inca Holmes just joining in at the back now. So we've got a long train of cars. just backs off a little bit there. Looks like he's going to go for the run up the hill. He does. Stu Shelton gaining on Adam, and Lewis all over the back there. Lewis goes for the outside line. That's the fastest lap of the race actually on that lap as well. Goes around the outside. Great manoeuvre there, and he gets that done. So now Lewis is going to push on to have another battle with Adam as we saw in that first race. We've got about the same amount of time that we had left at the end of that first race, so who can take it this time? It was Adam who took the spoils in the first race. Can Lewis get him back in this next race? Definitely got the pace. Still got this long train of cars battling for the top 8 positions. A couple of cars have just lost touch at the back there. Looks like Moz and Brian are actually fighting it out at the back of this group as well. So Moz and Brian are quite close. We've got Inca in 6th as well. So Inca's worked him way still there in 6th. Frowny in 5th. Just gets a little bit of a wiggle on as he goes across the curb. Stu Shelton there, still in 3rd, but he's got Luke and Frowny closing in on him. Inca Holmes not that far behind. Lewis side by side with Adam again now. Sets the fastest lap of the race, gets a little bit of a penalty. So these two are going to resume the battle from the first race. 0.2 of a second penalty Lewis has, so he'll be able to get rid of that. All over the back of Adam. Gets rid of his penalty now, so he's got a free run now if he can push on. Comes through that long right hander. Really trying to push onto the back of Adam now, so he wants that win. They've just gapped the cars behind. Stu Shelton still in 3rd, but he's 3 seconds back now. So Lewis really pushing on now. Set a 16.4 it says on the fastest lap, or it says a 16.6 on the right hand side, but whatever it is, he's got the pace. Adam 0.4 ahead, but that gap's coming down as he runs close in the slipstream, does Lewis, gaining quite a lot of time. Adam goes straight towards the inside. Lewis nearly hits the wall. Goes to the outside now, so they're going to go side by side again. Doesn't look like he's close enough, but nearly runs into the back of him as they go onto the back straight. Lewis has doesn't pull the inside. He does, he makes a late dive to the inside. Gets that done. Adam didn't fight it there, but they're going to go side by side up the hill. This is another great battle from these two as they run wheel to wheel, but Adam gets it done again. These two know each other from the British touring cars as well on a Friday night. Push each other hard in that race as well, as we see Lewis there in 2nd place. They'll want to get past. Adam gets the car stopped, turns it in. Lewis, nearly ran into the side of him there. They don't want to be making contact after the battles they've had. It's been really clean between the pair of them, rough but clean, giving each other just enough room. He gets another great tour. He's going to squeeze himself on the inside, nearly grazes the wall. That means Lewis has the inside, gets it done late on the brakes, and now Lewis leads this race. Adam nearly runs in the back of him, goes towards the inside but can't quite get it done. Makes a late manoeuvre there. Lewis just gets it done on the outside. Stu Shelton runs wide, Luke runs wide, Frowny comes through. Inca's taken Frowny, so Inca's up into 5th place. He could have a podium here. So Stu Shelton and Luke just ran wide, and that's put Inca all over the back of them. Meanwhile at the front, 0.4 of a gap for the leaders. going on to start another lap soon. He's just coming through the second to last corner now. This long left-hander down the bank. Inca. Oh, Inca's lost it now. Frowny's going side by side. Doesn't quite get it done. Inca back up into 5th. Stu Shelton down into 6th. Frowny goes to the inside. Inca pushes him up the hill. These guys are pushing each other all along here. Not much overtake left. Adam doesn't quite have enough pace, but he dives on the inside. Nearly takes the wall with him. Lewis just drops back, takes a good line out there, gets a cleaner line, so it's going to give him more pace down the straight, but Adam blocks him in the middle of the road. Lewis has to take the outside line. Getting each other close towards the edge of the track. Lewis is going to brave it on the outside. Adam touches wheels. Lewis goes wide. That's going to give him a penalty probably. They come up the hill, find out in a second. Doesn't give him a penalty as such yet. It looks like it was just contact that pushed him wide, so game hasn't given one. But these two are going to resume the battle again, and Luke's found himself back into 3rd place. Brownie's down there in 4th. Inca Holmes and just dropped back, and that's Moz coming up in the background as well to have a go at them now. As we join the battle at the front, Adam in 1st. Lewis going to go around the outside. Can't get it done. Adam has to defend. Only got a few laps left. Lewis will want to take this battle to the end again, but he'll want to be the one in front as they cross the line. Another tour down the straight. Lewis has to go to the outside. Can he get it done? Adam brakes late on the inside, keeps the position. Lewis tries to cut the car back and get a cleaner run again, but Adam just cuts his nose off. Lewis manages to edge him out and get to the inside line. So if Lewis gets his braking right, this could be 1st place again. He does. So he gets that position back there, and that's him into 1st place again. Adam's going to have to be the one now to find a way past. Meanwhile, Luke got a little bit of a gap now in 3rd. Brownie in 4th. Inca Holmes in 5th, chasing him down. Osman there in 6th. So Moz has lost a couple of positions. Brian Ross in 7th still. But these two guys at the front is the battle that we want to see again. Looks like it's going to go on to the last lap. They're coming on the last corner. Oh, Lewis goes wide. Lewis went a little bit wide there. I don't know if that's going to harm his tyres a little bit. He's going to be slow up the hill. See Adam gaining on him a little bit there. Adam's got no boost left. Lewis has got quite a lot left, so we go on to the last lap. Adam has a late dive again on the inside. Can't get it done. Takes a little bit of curve there. He's going to have another go. He's in the tour, 2/10 off, so he's really close to the back of Lewis. Can he go for another late dive? No, he can't. Lewis gets that corner done nice and neat, so he's only got this middle sector and a couple of corners after that, Lewis, and he'll take this sprint race win. After the first race, the positions were reversed across the line. Adam took the win in the feature race, but Lewis has come back from a spin in this race as well to take the win if he can hold it. The guys are really close together now. Lewis has a lot of overtake left to use out of that last corner. I think that may help him. He might just deploy it all up the hill. Oh, he does, but he gets a little kick of oversteer. But he deploys all of that overtake button and he's just pulling away. And Lewis, after taking 2nd across the line in the feature race, takes 1st place in the sprint race. Adam comes across in 2nd place. Luke C will come across the line to take his 1st podium, I think, of the season in 3rd place, so a good result from him. Inca side by side with Frowny. Frowny to take 4th. Yes, Frowny takes 4th on the line. Inca in 5th. Brian in 6th. Osman in 7th. Moz there in 8th. Mad Marshall there in 9th in the pits. And Stu Shelton, a DNF there in 10th, so I don't know what happened to Stu Shelton after leading the race. But a great result there from Lewis. A great battle there between Lewis and Adam again, but Lewis just a bit more tactical in keeping his boost till the end. It just enabled him to pull right away up the straight. So another good race there between the pair of them. It was good to see another great battle. Run through the results now. So Lewis takes the win from Adam. Luke C, great podium. Frowney in 4th. Inca Holmes on his first night in the car, taking a 7th and a 5th. So well done to him. Brian Ross there in 6th. Real Osman in 7th. Moz in 8th. Mad Marshall in 9th, and Stu Shelton, an apparent DNF there in 10th. Fastest lap from Lewis as well, 16.4 on lap 5. So that's rounds 5 and 6 done at Interlagos circuit. We hope it's been an entertaining one. I've certainly enjoyed it. But till next time, that's all we've got. I'm not sure which track we're at next week, but we'll soon find out. So for now, goodbye.